All right. Good day, my brothers. Allow me to speak to you about the different themes since I started my stint as Luzon North Deputy in 2015. In 2015, the first theme that we had was a call to become evangelizers. Now, this call was made no less than by Pope Francis, a call to evangelize. And this was later on uh, cascaded towards our councils. So when we say a call to evangelize, we simply mean that we bring the Word of God to our members and we bring our members to God. Now, this is part of our evangelization. Now, it is our moral obligation to invite every Catholic gentleman to the Knights of Columbus. And when we invite new members, we evangelize them. We introduce or reintroduce to them again who God is, and we bring them back to God. So, in joining the Knights of Columbus, our task really is to bring all Catholic gentlemen, to bring them back to Jesus Christ. Now, after that theme in 2015, the following year, we came out with another theme, which is a call to become missionaries of mercy and compassion. Now, as members of the Knights of Columbus, all of us are called upon to show mercy and compassion, especially to the lost, the least, and the least and the lost and the poor constituents or members of the community. It is our obligation to provide them with love, give them love, and mercy and compassion. Now, when we say mercy in Tagalog, it means awa. No? And when we say compassion, it is habag. No? So it is our duty to show mercy and compassion to everyone, especially the poor, especially the underprivileged. And as members of the Knights of Columbus, are duty bound to answer this call to become missionaries of mercy and compassion. Now, it has been said that one of the purposes or one of the reasons why Father Michael J. McGivney organized the Knights of Columbus in 1882 is because he wanted to show mercy and compassion, especially to the widows and the orphans. So, in line with this vision and mission of Father Michael J. McGivney, we formulated this theme. We are called upon, we are being asked to become merciful and compassionate. You know, when we say compassion, there is an element of love. So, we are being urged to show this love. That's the reason why the first principle of the order is about charity. And charity speaks about love. So, this call to become missionaries of mercy and compassion is actually in answer to our cardinal principle, which is charity, doing charity. And that's the reason why we have so many charitable works. We have charitable works that evangelizes. Now, after 2016, then we have 2017, we came out again with another theme, which is a call to become builders of domestic church. Building the domestic church simply means that we have to strengthen the family, because the family is the basic unit of society. And in order to support the church, we have to strengthen the family members. We all know, of course, that the family is the church. It's the basic church. So, as members of the Knights of Columbus, we are urged to become builders of our families. Make our families strong so that we will be able to serve our parish through our charitable works. So we are duty bound to answer the call to become builders of our domestic church while strengthening the parish. We are urged to support the charitable works likewise of our parishes. And may I also encourage, or enjoin rather, our members to love our priest. If we are asked to support our projects, the projects of our priests, the projects of our parishes, we are called upon to love our priest. Now, the fourth theme is a call to become renewed servant leaders. Now, we cannot become leaders unless we start as servants. Now, Knights of Columbus, all the members of the Knights of Columbus are duty bound to serve the Lord. All right? So, serve the Lord and become leaders later on. We cannot become leaders unless we serve. So, we are called upon to render service to our community, especially the poor and the underprivileged. So as renewed servant leaders, we must be able to teach others how to love Christ. Now, this brings me to what I always discuss and what I always ask about our members. What is the purpose of life? Now, the purpose of life is to know God, to love God, to serve God, and to teach others to love God, to know God, and to serve God. So, as Knights of Columbus, we are called upon to continue to know God, because we cannot love somebody whom we don't love. So, we must know somebody before we can love him. So, we are urged, we are called upon to love our God, to love him, and then to serve him. And we are also called upon to help others, to teach others, to love God, to know God, and to serve God. So I want you to remember this statement, that the purpose of life is to love God, and to know God, and to serve God, and to teach others to love God, to know God, and to serve God. Now, this brings us to the basic issues that as Knights of Columbus, as financial secretaries, as officers of the council, we are called upon to be aggressive in our membership campaign. That is why I always emphasize the 3 R's. What are these 3 R's? First is recruitment, reactivation, and then compliance with our reportorial requirements. And then the last one is I. So it's RRI. I means insurance. As members of the Knights of Columbus, as officers, especially as Grand Knights, we are being called upon to be aggressive in our membership growth. 1 is better than 0. It is always important that we evangelize or we invite new members. The Supreme Knight, no less, has greatly encouraged all of us to be aggressive in our membership campaign. The Supreme Council heavily relies on the Philippines. As they say, the Philippines is the top grocer in the Knights of Columbus. Without the Philippines, then perhaps our membership growth will not really grow. So I urge all of you, the Grand Knights and the district deputies, to please continue to invite new members. Time and again, the Supreme Knight has said that it is the moral obligation of every Catholic, to every officer, every member of the Knights of Columbus, to invite Catholic gentlemen to the Order of the Knights of Columbus. It is our moral obligation to invite Catholic gentlemen. So, my brother Knights, let us stop our laziness. Let us continue to be active. Don't be lazy. Don't. You have to go out of your comfort zone, and continue with our evangelization. Now, the next item is reactivation. Now, in areas where there are suspended councils, I urge our Grand Knights to work hand in hand with our district deputies to reactivate suspended councils. In so doing, we are actually also inviting new members. Now, the third R is reportorial requirements. We must comply with all the reports to be submitted, especially the forms required in order to achieve Star Council. Basically, these forms they're not really difficult to accomplish, but basically, these basic forms are 1185, 365, 1278, and the SP7. So let us work hard, let us comply with these reportorial requirements. And then lastly, we have letter I. I means insurance. It is greatly encouraged that all of us should obtain an insurance policy from Casey Poppy. Casey Poppy is ours. Casey Poppy is owned by the Knights of Columbus. So I encourage all of you to obtain an insurance policy. You can probably start with the CMBP, which is a group insurance. Now, may I also inform everyone that when a new member is invited into the Knights of Columbus, every new member is given a free 10,000 peso accident insurance. It's free. And then later on, you can, that is just the entry point, and later on, you can obtain the CMBP, which is the smallest would be a 30,000 coverage. A 30,000 coverage would cost only 365 pesos a year, or 1 peso every month. So I urge everyone to obtain an insurance policy, starting with the 10,000 peso accident insurance, then graduating into the CMBP, and then get a regular insurance policy. This is the best legacy that we can give. Now, mind you, Casey Poppy is the best insurance company in the world. Now, where can you find an insurance company that pays the widows, that pays the children, the insurance policy coverage immediately, even during the wait? You cannot find any insurance company in the world that does that. So I greatly encourage you to patronize Casey Poppy and its several programs or several policies. So, my brother knights, my dear grand knights, financial secretaries, and officers of the councils, I urge you to continue to be aggressive in our membership growth. Now, we have a lot of charitable works. These charitable works cannot move. These charitable works cannot be implemented unless we invite new members. And the Supreme Knight has encouraged us to invite young members. And then we are also being urged to really be aggressive in organizing Columbian squires. So with this, my brother knights, I wish you success in your activities, and I wish you all the best of everything. Vivat Jesus!